been keeping bees for about 27 years. To the side we have a small orchard, and when we put the orchard in, it never did what I thought it should be doing. My line of work put me around farmers a lot, and they all said, you need to have bees. I don't have time. You need to have, I don't have time. So finally one of them gave me a hive. It gave me the box, didn't give me the bees. And we purchased the bees, and from there on it's taken off. We are proud to have a product that originates in West Virginia. We are proud to have a product that we can offer to West Virginians to purchase. And so we do promote that as West Virginia grown. I would like to think that it increases our sales, but more than anything else, I think it just improves the image of our product and falls back on our loyalty to the state of West Virginia. At one point, we were up to about 30 hives. We're not large scale by any means, but over the years, we've decreased the number of hives. We're down to about 20 hives now. We just took honey off the other day, and I put up about 640 pounds of honey from our spring crop. Our primary outlet is the public market in Wheeling, downtown Wheeling. We also participate in the Oktoberfest up at Ogilvie. We have a large booth up there. A lot of it's educational, a lot of it's sales of honey. At a variety of levels of beekeeping. On a state level, I'm the treasurer of the West Virginia Beekeepers. I'm also the co-chairman of the Master Beekeeping Program that we have developed to allow people to go through a process to become master beekeepers in the state. On the local level, Tri-State Beekeepers is our local organization. I'm the president of Tri-State Beekeepers. And on another level, across the river in St. Clairsville, there's a level 3 prison, and we have a bee club in that, the Belmont Correctional Bee Club. I am very proud of that. I'm over there monthly to lecture to them. I act as their mentor, and we do a lot with them, and that is very rewarding. Those guys get involved in it, they're very dedicated to it, they focus on it, and I enjoy that very much. Our focus is on education. In the past, we were into more production and sales, but we've decreased that emphasis now, and our focus is on education. So we do lectures constantly, garden clubs, Kiwanis clubs, Lions clubs. The other day I was at a religious convent doing a lecture. We do that all the time. The Grow Ohio Valley program has a program that they bring in college kids over their spring breaks, their fall breaks, and we bring the kids up here. We put them in veils, we open hives, we talk to them about beekeeping, the honeybee as a pollinator. Last year we had over 100 kids come through the bee yard. We have a good time with that. That's a lot of fun. So every opportunity that I get, I like to present on the bees and beekeeping and the pollinators. There's a lot of work, and unfortunately there's a lot of work in hot weather. And so you can imagine with a veil and a jacket and 90-degree temperature, that's hard, particularly as I get older, it's getting harder. But the challenge in beekeeping, there's a problem with a parasitic mite, a varroa mite. And as a beekeeper, you really have to be on top of it to manage your mites. If you don't, you lose your bees. And the bees themselves have a very poor immune system, so they're vulnerable to diseases, to viruses, to bacterial infections. So as a beekeeper, just as a rancher, you're responsible for your livestock. Well, in the same way as a beekeeper, you're responsible for your bees, and it's hard to keep them healthy. I really enjoy the educational end of it. It's fun to work in the apiary. It's fun to work with the bees. It takes your mind off of everything that's around you, and that's your focus. So the problems of the world just sort of melt away while you're in the bee yard. But I enjoy speaking on bees. I enjoy the enthusiasm that you can generate in people for bees, pollinators. And I find that people really don't know anything at all about beekeepers, about honeybees, or their role as a pollinator. And so I really derive a lot of satisfaction out of presenting the bee and the pollination to people. If you are interested in keeping bees, you want to align yourself with a bee club with a mentor, with a novice program. Throughout the state of West Virginia, there are about 21 different local associations. A lot of those associations will have a novice program where they'll sit down and teach you how to keep the bees, how to obtain the proper equipment. They'll help you obtain the bees. They'll teach you how to manage, and participation in their club gives you access to knowledge of other more experienced beekeepers. Don't try to do this on your own. If you think you can buy a box and put a bunch of bugs in it, you're going to lose your bees. You just absolutely lose your bees. You have to know what you're doing. It's hard to keep bees anymore. They're not as strong as they were in years past. There are a lot of problems in the environment that challenge the bees, between the environment, lack of forage area, the onset of the mites. You have to know what you're doing. And so if you're interested in beekeeping, it's a wonderful, wonderful hobby. Unfortunately, it's a costly hobby. It takes an investment. And unless you know what you're doing, you're going to lose your investment. I guarantee you'll lose your bees. I guarantee it.
See the bubbles, and then the bubbles will rise up. And then after that, we put our label on it, and we put the West Virginia grown, and we put the disclaimer that don't feed honey to infants to keep them safe. We're very proud of it, proud of West Virginia, proud that we are here. Here's the label. West Virginia grown, and here's our label. And we're beholding acres because we are beholding to the Lord. And that's where that came from. So we have to have our name, we have to have our contact information and a phone number, and you have to have the weight in ounces and then in grams also. And then because it's West Virginia grown, we take it to the public market and they sell our honey. But when you start tasting different local honeys, it really makes a difference. And yeah, we're proud of it. And I think people buy our honey for that reason also. They want something that's local. And West Virginia grown, that's a good thing.